Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. We're having an Ask the Expert segment with K3C Credit Counselling. Joel Grise is joining us. That's how you can get a hold of us. So give us a call live on the air, 789-6559, extension 2803. You can always send us an email, ottawa.morning@ctv.ca, or contact us on our Facebook page. We have some questions coming in, but one thing we wanted to hit on before we get to the questions was your online services.
Well, there's different ways of reaching us. We've always really been about face-to-face, about sitting down with people and going through and fixing it that way. But we started to realize that there's other people out there that may find it difficult to come into our office. Maybe they're a proximity issue, or they can't get in, or they have kids at home. Or, I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why it's difficult to take time out of your day to come. And so we have an online assessment. So if you go to K3C.org, and you click on credit counseling, because we're a multi-service agency. It's not just credit counseling. So you have to click on the credit counseling button, and then from there you click on the online assessment, and you go on and fill in your income and expenses, your debts and your assets. And there's a little spot where you can say what's going on.
That in itself, coming up with those lists, is you have to spend some time thinking about.
Well, it's great, exactly, because there's a lot of people that come in, they don't have all the information. Oh, I think it's about this, about that. If you're at home on a Sunday morning with your coffee, and you're not sure, then you can go and research and make the phone call, so you have all the proper information. It times out though, so you have to make sure you get most of the information before you go on, because you'll get timed out of the assessment. It can get frustrating.
All right. Okay, we're going to get to an email question right now. We're talking about credit and credit counselors and the credit companies, those that are coming after you. Why are there 3 credit score companies, and why do I have to contact all 3 to ensure my credit score is accurate? Do they share information? And that's coming to us from Ren via email.
That's a great question. First of all, it's my understanding there are 2. There's Equifax and TransUnion. They are the 2. There used to be a Northern Credit Bureaus who got bought out by Experian, but I think they're gone away, and I believe at this point there's the 2. And they act independently. It's like the McDonald's and the Wendy's. They do things similar, but they are independent. Creditors, they don't share information between the 2. So the 2 credit rating or the credit bureaus do not report within each other. It's the creditors that report to the credit bureau. So let's say you had a Royal Bank Visa. Well, Royal Bank will report your standing and where you're at to both agencies. Okay?
Yes.
So there's no discussion between the 2, but it is the creditor that reports to both. And it's really good to get both. And why this whole thing exists, I'm not sure, but that's the system we have to deal with.
So they're not sharing information, but the credit card company is. It's sending it to both companies.
Exactly, and that's how your credit report gets updated. Is every month credit card companies, could be loans, it could be, report to the credit bureau, and your credit bureau will update your file so that when you borrow money, the same creditor that's giving information to the credit bureau will purchase your credit file, which is kind of a nice little package of everything you've done. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of transactions going on, that's for sure.
And how it all works is very interesting as well.
We do have a phone call. I believe Christina's on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's your question?
Okay, I have a little bit different question. I moved in here to my house 2 years ago, and I must have gotten a number who owed to creditors.
Oh.
Now, they've called me 3 times a day for 2 years. Last year, I called them back, and I explained that I don't know this person, and it continues, and after explaining to them, they actually more or less called me a liar. Is there anything I can do to say to them to stop them from calling me 3 times a day?
That's another good question. It must be very frustrating to be called for when you don't owe the money. And I know how they can be, and always calling,
I'm shocked in all of this that they're calling 3 times a day. You're not kidding when you say that they are literally calling you night and day.
It can be a very intimidating process. Wow. And you're lucky, Christine, you don't owe the money. It's even worse if somebody does. Now, in your case, and you've articulated the fact to the collection agency that you don't know the person, I'm assuming, and the fact that that person doesn't reside where you live, right?
The caller is actually clear, but that was, she doesn't know who it was. She doesn't know who it, she just inherited this number.
Yeah, in which case I would ask for a manager. When you call, ask for a manager. You can lodge a complaint. Call the office, and we can give you the information about how to lodge a complaint. to that credit for the creditor that's calling. Or
because the person that's actually calling, it needs to go up further along the line.
If there's no resolution, the first thing you do is you tell the person, hey, it's not me. And if they don't believe you, ask for their manager.
Okay.
And then from there, I mean, you have to lodge a complaint. Or change your phone number, but not really the...
Sometimes it's not ready to go. Okay, well, we'll get more, and they can call you guys to get more information. We do have to take a short commercial break. We'll be back. Send us in your questions. The information is listed right there at the top of your screen, and we'll be back with Joel with more after this.